I preface this by saying it is over 100 degrees where I currently live. If you hear a fan in the background, I'm so, so sorry. There's video evidence of me saying slurs. There's video evidence of me being ableist. Unfortunately, yes. How bad is a deed until it's unredeemable? Within legal limits. This isn't a video about law or anything. It's more about airing out my own blackmail, so one, no one can use it against me, and two, we're all human, and if you don't take the steps to become less toxic, did you really reform? Religious or not, we live and grow and are allowed to make mistakes. I've stopped trying to reclaim slurs that I have no business reclaiming, and I've dropped that word from my vocabulary entirely. I realized that being disabled and a senior are the only minority groups anyone and everyone can become a part of. Life is scary. Life is mean. Life is tough. Life is a lot. Why not grow without reason? Better yourself by involving yourself either at work, school, home, anywhere. Again, some people are in domestic violence, child abuse, and I'm not talking about anything like that. I mean, even without the proper monetary resources, still commit? Learn that skill. Teach that language. Learn that just because you speak a language doesn't mean that you speak the same language. Be aware of your neighbor pulling in and out of their driveway. Daily, you are surrounded by opportunities to grow just for yourself. And do you take them? Me personally, I've been trying to. Life doesn't come with a handbook, but if one thing is true, is that you are in control of how you react. So be better. Do better. Don't keep your head in your phone, laptop. Hell, if you are a so called real gamer, be a real gamer and carry around a portable TV so you could play outside in the park with everyone. I'm sure there's a little hut or gazebo in your town that has an electrical outlet. Make good use of it. Make connections. And if your gut tells you no, you might get M word in Minecraft, then leave. Like, better judgment if you do that. Would you rather play with little Timmy or David, the down bad homeless man? Sorry to all the Davids out there. I still say sorry a lot because I mean it. Sorry doesn't fix everything. Yes, exactly, but depending on the situation, I do better with my actions to make sure it don't happen again. Don't use that language again. And I genuinely feel sorry. Like, nobody said you have to accept every sorry you get, same as not everyone will accept your sorry. Does that make sense? Because I'm sick and tired of hearing the phrase, sorry doesn't fix everything. Of course, sorry doesn't fix everything. However, again, depending on the situation we're in, it could fix a lot. And not saying sorry actually hurts more than saying sorry. Instead of sitting there and going, I understand my mistake and I take full accountability for it, I could capture that all in one simple word: sorry. Some people can't even apologize for what they've done, and I think that's so hilarious when people get upset with me for apologizing and they hit me with the sorry doesn't fix everything. Yes, sorry won't fix everything depending on the situation, but hypothetically for the sake of the argument, uh sorry can fix a lot. Sorry is a step in the right direction. Would you rather me sit here, act all high and mighty with my pride, and not say sorry because I don't want to be seen as vulnerable or, God forbid, in the wrong? Versus, I say sorry, I take accountability for my actions, acknowledge my mistakes, and then take the proper actions to ensure that they don't happen again? Like, what would you prefer? There's this really great um illustration for children that explains wholeheartedly what I'm trying to get to. Where if you step on someone's toe and you say sorry, it doesn't change the fact that they're still hurt. Whether you intended to step on their foot or not, they're still hurt. And yeah, saying sorry might not really help in the moment, But saying sorry means you recognize what you did, you apologize for stepping on that person's toe, you feel bad for stepping on that person's toe, and now you're going to take the proper steps to look at the ground while you're walking to ensure that you're not stepping on anyone else's toes. It is a great illustration, and it just conveys the point that I'm trying to get to so clearly here. Is that by acknowledging you're wrong and acknowledging you messed up, then taking the actions you need to take in order to not repeat those same mistakes can all be said in one simple word: sorry. And you can't change if you don't apologize. No, you don't have to right every wrong. No, you don't have to tie up every loose end. And nobody, and I truly mean nobody, is given the right to closure, whether that be with your parents, friends, past lover. Nobody has to give you closure, and you don't owe closure to anybody. Always remember that. However, with that being said, remember that as a human, you can change and reinvent yourself anytime you'd like. It's not going to take a day. It could take weeks to a month, but you are allowed to change. You are allowed to go from being a vain, strict, no fun person to a loose, all around type of guy. You're allowed to change and reinvent yourself as many times as you need, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, wrong with that. If it weren't for the ability to change and recognize your wrongs, a lot more people would still be considered toxic, don't hang out with them people, because you're stuck in your ways, as those would like to say. And when you're stuck in your ways, it could be a good or a bad thing. However, without realizing the ability to change, you're getting rid of all of humanity essentially. All progress of humanity was built off the back of changing. Oh, I don't like the way we currently farm our crops. If only there was a way we could use an automated system instead of by hand, by machine, and have that machine be completely run off an electrical current. Like, that was a big change in human history, and I mean that. If it weren't for the ability to change, none of us would be here. A lot of people's parents have gone down the bad route before going up the good route. I'm sure many of you have heard the phrase, every sinner could be a saint, every saint used to sin. And that's true, because people who live the violent life just want peace and quiet. Meanwhile, people who live the peaceful and quiet life know what it was like to live a very chaotic, disorientated life where you don't know where your next meal is coming from. And again, I'm not talking about serious gravity situations like homelessness, DV, SA, any acronym, toss it in here. But for people that can genuinely change the outcome of their day, change the outcome of their perspective, why not? And just like how this little squiggle became and changed into a beautiful girl wearing a dress, you too can change. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way through. Please like and subscribe and keep the comments peaceful and friendly. Thank you. Bye.